Hello and welcome, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. And be very, very welcome to the Wake Up Your Eyes free 4-part masterclass. And we are now talking in lesson number 1. This is the live that is associated with the video 1. This is part of lesson 1. And today we're going to talk about 5 secrets, 5 keys to improve your vision. And I would like to welcome you with my team. You will get to see a few of them in the coming times. And I would like to highlight that throughout the Wake Up Your Eyes free masterclass, 4-part masterclass, you are going to get actually $300 worth of value for free. This is the equivalent of a weekend workshop on natural vision improvement. And today we're in lesson number 1, where you are going to learn the secret to improving your eyesight without glasses or surgery. Actually, that one was already explained in video number 1. And today we're going to go deeper by talking about 5 keys to improve your vision every day. I will also share more about my vision journey. I will also go deeper on the topics that were shown in video number 1 that belong to lesson 1. And I will teach you tips and exercises that you can apply in your everyday life. I will also answer plenty of questions that come up very frequently for lesson 1 about palming and things like that. And you will discover also people who have had results with the tips and the techniques that I am sharing today with you. And actually, let me see, we have Elia and Anna and Paki. I believe that Pamela is also there, although I don't see her at the moment. There she is. Voila. So you'll get to hear from all of them and discover also their stories and what natural vision improvement, Wake Up Your Eyes free masterclass, palming, and the ClearSight Method did for them. So thank you very much for being here today. I think maybe Alicia will be joining us. Elia, I hope that you can help her. And yeah, we'll be hearing all these stories. So I also want you to know that this workshop, this free 4-part masterclass that you're attending at this moment, has been followed by over 4 million participants all over the world. And actually, in the past couple of weeks, there's been almost 95,000 extra people signing up to participate. So it's a lot of people have taken it all over the world. It's been proven. The results are out there. We have almost 1,000 video testimonials from people sharing their experiences and their improvement with the Wake Up Your Eyes free masterclass and the ClearSight Method. And basically, if you look at the map, people are basically all over the world participating, only in the Republic of Central Africa. And I believe now we do have participants there, North Korea, where there's no Facebook, and these lost islands that belong to Norway that only have about 2,000 inhabitants. But we've had participants really all over the world. So I would like to know also where are you from? Where are you watching from? I see that there's, for example, Yasmin from Toronto, Paul from London, Rabi from Toronto also, Jai Shiri, I don't know if I pronounce well, from the UK, Sylvia from Serbia, Barbara from Boston, Lavina, okay. She doesn't say where from. Kathy from Toronto. Great. We love to have people participating from all over the world. We teach this in English and in Spanish, so that helps us complete the map, right? And actually, I believe that the people that have come to be with us today, their mother tongue is not English. It's also my case. We have Lavinia from Den Haag, Marcia from New York. Great. So we also have a quite international crowd with us today. And I would like to know if you're here, it's likely that it's the case, but just to make sure, do you wear glasses or contacts? Lavinia, yeah, from Den Haag in the Netherlands, of course. Do you wear glasses or contacts? Have you had or do you fear having to have surgery in the coming times? Well, if that's the case and you want to avoid surgeries or actually heal from the effects of having had surgery and improve your eyesight and your vision, if you want to need to use less your glasses or actually not at all and be able to get rid of them forever, well, you are in the right place. So I see Lavinia wears glasses, Marcia has glasses for far and near sight. Okay. So, and if you don't wear glasses or you didn't have surgery or you're not in fear of having to have surgery, I wonder if you know anyone around you with eyesight issues. And probably if we were in a room all together, everybody would be raising their hand by now, because who doesn't have a relative or a friend or a child or a spouse that needs glasses, or a parent that has eyesight issues, vision issues. So if that's the case, well, you can also share this with the people you care about. You can send them the links, you can send them the videos so that they can see for themselves. Yeah, and I'm seeing, for example, Jay Cherie wears glasses but would like to avoid them. Marcia doesn't want to use them at all. Lavinia hates the glasses. Okay, so we have a little bit of uh, different possibilities here. Barbara says, I used to think it was cool, laughing out loud. Well, people also used to think that smoking looked cool, but not very good for your health, right? So, I mean, glasses have had their place and moment, and in the moment, they may help you see well. And sometimes it may be reasonable to use them, but in the long run, they're not very healthy and helpful for our eyes and eyesight. Like crutches, you would not think of wearing them long term, right? But we'll talk about this more during today's class. And I would like to know if you're here just interested or engaged. What would be an interested person? Well, someone who's curious and who's maybe here at the same time as they're browsing on their computer, or looking at their WhatsApp, or I don't know, paying attention to other things at the same time. And who would be an engaged person? Well, someone who's fully present, who has chosen to take the time off to be fully here, who's maybe even taking notes. And taking the time not just to hear what I'm teaching, but actually to apply it, to participate, to own the learning and see with their own eyes how these techniques, when you apply them, they make a difference. And I see Barbara saying, I am engaged. Jay Cherie also engaged. I have signed up for your free lessons. Great. Actually, that was one of my next questions. So first, I would like to know, have you seen the video number 1? The first part of the lesson that was released 2 days ago. And if you haven't, I would advise that after you watch this live, you make sure that you go and watch it, because even though, well, first, there may be different information from this live, and even if there is some of the same information, I probably explained it in a different way or showed it in a different manner, so the repetition will be helpful. Yes? And I see more people saying, Marcia, I'm engaged. I have all the classes in my calendar and taking notes. Yay, Marcia. Monica, engaged. And people have seen video 1. Barbara, both my husband and I. Great. Lavinia, yes, I saw it. Very, very good. Ray B, engaged. Kathy, I'm practicing palming already. Very, very good. Maruska also engaged and watched video number 1. Great, great to see. And actually, my next question was, did you practice palming? And I see that Kathy has been practicing palming. Yay. So very good. I would like to know, for those who have been practicing palming since 2 days ago, what did you notice? What has changed? How do you feel your eyes? Are they more relaxed, more expanded? Do you see better in any way that you can notice? I would like to hear about that. And I see more people are engaged. Marushka also watched video 1. Leah is ready. Yes, Sylvia also reserved time for all the lessons. Lavinia also practiced. Maruska says that she did notice a difference. Michelle also. Barbara also. Great, that's very good news. Lavinia says, my eyes feel better and I see better. Good for you. Very, very good. And for you who have been practicing and seeing the differences when you practice palming, do you want to keep improving your eyesight? Do you want to keep going further? Now that you see that you can. So do you want more? And you can type in the chat, yes, I'm a visionary and I want to see clearly with my own eyes. I'd like to see you writing that. Aha. Okay, and Sylvia is saying, palming is really a discovery thanks to you, Nathan Oxenfeld. You are two angels, by the way. He's a great friend. I really appreciate Nathan and Nathan's work. So, and a couple of people are saying, I've practiced, but I think not enough yet to see a difference. Barbara, no real difference yet, but I expect it. Yay, keep persevering. Sometimes the benefits come in the mid-long term when you do it every day for a while at least. So yeah, Leah once more. Kathy, I saw a difference. I want to see continuing clear. Great. Matruska, of course I want. Michelle says too early to say, but it feels good. The fact that it feels good is already a good sign. Sometimes you need to drink water for a while before you notice the effects of drinking water regularly, but when you do, it feels good. So this is a good sign. Yes, and JC once more. Raby also feeling good, practicing palming. Arlene once more. And we have also Soraya from Niagara Falls, Canada. Great. So if you want to keep improving more and learning more, let me remind you that this is part of a 4-part video course. So lesson number 1, the video was released 2 days ago, and today we have the live. Tomorrow we are going to release lesson number 2, and 2 days later there will be the live, and then the next day lesson number 3, the video, and 2 days later the live, the corresponding live, and then on February 2nd we'll have lesson 4. At that time we will open the possibility to register to the advanced program, the ClearSight Method, for those who want more, and we will have the corresponding live on February 4th. So there's more lessons coming up. So I know that a number of you already marked it in your calendar and you made space, but for those who may have not yet, I invite you to take a snapshot of this slide and make sure you make space in your calendar for all these times and moments. And in case you have a question of the schedule, when these lives, the videos are released early in the morning, and you'll get them by email or by WhatsApp. So it's very important that you register through this link, clearsightmethod.com/wakeupyoureyes, if you haven't registered yet. And the lives take place at a given time. They are recorded, so you could watch them later, but I do invite you to watch them live as you are doing it here, because if you're live, then you're likely to be more engaged. Yes? Okay, so yeah, so that was the question. Are you registered? If you haven't, I invite you to do so. And in our webpage, clearsightmethod.com, that's what comes up first. So it's very easy to find. And now, just a couple words about who I am. I know that last Sunday, I did give a presentation where I spoke about me professionally quite a bit. So I'm not going to go that in depth on the professional side, although I'll mention a couple things. But today I'm going to tell you more about my personal story with eyesight, my vision journey, so that you understand why I'm here speaking to you, and why not only my wisdom or my knowledge comes from scientific research at the university, but it also comes from personal experience and having gone through the process myself. Okay, so just a couple notes professionally. So I'm Dr. Ainhoa de Federico. I have 2 PhDs and actually also honorary doctorate for the spread of natural vision improvement through Wake Up Your Eyes in Spanish, in English, and the ClearSight Method. I'm a professor and researcher at the University of Toulouse, and I am, of course, the creator of the ClearSight Method, which allows people to see clearly again naturally without glasses or surgery, which is the reason why you're here, right? And I have been devoting 20 years of research to putting together this system, the ClearSight Method, and I have based it in findings done in different disciplines. Natural vision improvement is nourished by a lot of different disciplines. So, of course, ophthalmology and optometry. In video one, we talked about some of the discoveries of the pioneer of natural vision improvement from ophthalmology, Dr. William Bates. And today we're going to talk about it a little bit more. But it's also nourished from optometry, neurophysiology and neurosciences, epigenetics, nutrition, the study of posture, the study on light, on health. This is much more current, but also from social sciences such as psychology, anthropology, sociology, history, that have things to say about how eyesight decreases and how it improves, and of course the study of lifestyle medicine and good habits for health. So all that I have learned in the past 20 years in all these disciplines, I have put it together, organized it in the step-by-step system that anybody can follow. And you are getting the main ideas for free within this Wake Up Your Eyes free masterclass. And when I mentioned 20 years of research of 100, is because there's about 100 years, actually more than 100 years of research in different disciplines about why and how it is possible to improve your eyesight naturally without glasses or surgery, or treatments or drops. Glasses and surgeries have been around for many, many centuries. Actually, both of them actually started around the 12th century and, of course, evolved and improved over time. But in the last 100 years, we know also a lot about how we can improve our eyesight naturally. And for those who would rather do improve their eyes and see with their own naked eyes without glasses, contacts, or having to undergo surgeries, well, it's important that the information is out there so you have your free informed choice. And of course, if some people want to have surgery or wear glasses, it is also their right, and that's already out there and known. Okay, so the ClearSight Method, which is the step-by-step process that I have put together with this synthesis from all these disciplines, is a world-class natural vision improvement program. We have received many awards and prizes for it. In 2019, the second prize to the most deserving program in community of online marketers and people who do free online education on also in the USA, Lunch Club. In 2020, it was declared the most loved and appreciated program by clients among hundreds of thousands of programs and online courses in Hotmart, which is the leading platform in Spanish. So it was really, really great to be chosen as the best program in the whole platform. In 2022, we received the Best Natural Vision Improvement Course mention or award in the Healthcare and Pharmaceutical Awards organized by Global Health and Pharma in the UK. In 2023, I received a honorary doctorate because of the global impact that I and my team, of course, have been having through the spread of Wake Up Your Eyes and the ClearSight Method in the world. And in 2023 also, we were declared the most innovative vision improvement initiative in Europe by the European Enterprise Awards, EU Business News. I believe they're also based in the UK. So this is a very good program. It's very good information. It's a very good method. And I'm not saying this to show off, even though I'm very happy that we're accomplishing these things, of course, but because you deserve to know the quality and the value of what you'll get, of what you're getting here. You deserve it. If you trust and know that this information is legit, then you're going to be more willing to apply it and use it and spread it and share it with your beloved ones. And because this is the impact we want for you, we want you to have a better eyesight and the quality of life and the happiness that goes with it. So this is the reason why we mentioned this. So you open yourself to it. But I myself didn't start like this, having all these awards and being recognized for the impact of the ClearSight Method and having excellent eyesight. I didn't start like this at all. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of my own vision journey. Actually, throughout my life, I have had 6 eyesight symptoms at 3 different times. First, I was born with eyesight issues. So if you were wondering if I've been having this problem since birth, can I heal? Well, I'm the living proof, one of the many living proofs that it's possible, because I was born with myopia. I was very nearsighted. And this is actually quite uncommon because children tend to be hyperopic. They tend to be farsighted. But I was born with myopia, with nearsightedness, with a squint, so strabismus. I looked like this, yeah. And I had amblyopia, meaning that I had a lazy eye. My brain didn't take the information from one of the eyes. And when I was 6 months old and we were visiting my grandparents, I am lucky enough to have been born in a family um, of medical doctors and physicians. And my parents showed me to my grandfather, who was very renowned at the time in Spain and very well connected with many other great specialists in the countries. And when my grandfather saw that I had eyesight issues, he recommended my parents to go with a full professor at the University of Granada, an ophthalmologist that was specialized in children's strabismus. She was first surprised to see my parents come with me so young, only 6 months old. But when she saw me and the issues going on in my eyes, she was like, "You guys were really right to bring her so early." And so she suggested a number of exercises and practices that my parents should perform with me for several months. And they did so very diligently. So by the time I was 1 year old, by my birthday, by my first birthday, my eyesight was absolutely amazing, was perfect. Yeah. Since that time on, I could see well near and far, and from the left eye and the right eye. And at night during the day, I actually had such a good eyesight that it was repeated many, many times to me by many people that I had the eyesight of a lynx, of an eagle. Yeah. And this happens to be one of the three stories that my parents have been telling me for every birthday, basically. You were born having issues, and then by the time you were 1 year old, everything was solved. So it kind of became part of my identity. So one of the first challenges that I was able, with help, of course, to break through in life was actually improving my eyesight. So if I could do it at 6 months old, you can probably too. And at this time, the improvement was through exercises. So I was healed at the physical level. And then time went on, fast forward, for many, many years, I was seeing perfectly. And then in 1996, as I was studying in the north of France, I had finished my undergrad studies in Spain, and I went on a European exchange program to study to the north of France, to the University of Science and Technologies in Lille. I was getting ready for my PhD. And in 1996, so this is in the last century, right? Before the internet was almost invented, or maybe it was invented already, but many of us didn't even have email, certainly not access to Google or anything like that. So anyway, one day I wake up and I see very blurry and double, and I panicked. I literally panicked. So I immediately called my mother, who was 1,000 kilometers away, very far in Spain. And she even got more nervous than me. And she was like, "Don't call me to tell me these things that frighten me when I'm so far away and I cannot do anything for you. Call an ophthalmologist." I was like, "Sure, that's of course the good idea, right? These guys are the ones who fix eyesight." So I took the yellow pages. See, this story is really old. I took the yellow pages, no internet at the time, and I started looking for ophthalmologists and optometrists and calling them on the phone in a rush to see who would see me as soon as possible, because I was feeling so bad, so panicked, in a sense of urgency. And so there was someone who picked the phone and could see me that very same afternoon. And later on, I realized that probably that was not a very good method to find a good professional, because, well, you should always go to restaurants that are very full. If they're full, they're very good. If they're empty, maybe not so much. So anyway, I went to this guy's practice, to his office. It was that day, it was in the middle of the winter, so it was cold, it was dark. I had to wait in a dark hallway that had lots of marble. It wasn't very welcoming. And also the interaction was kind of awkward. The ophthalmologist wasn't very welcoming. But anyway, when we finally started with the appointment, I told him that the previous day I saw perfectly and that I was someone with perfect eyesight. And all of a sudden, I had woken up seeing double and very, very blurry. And I asked him, what has happened? Why do I see so poorly today? And the ophthalmologist heard the question. The question entered one ear, went out the other one. He didn't answer. He didn't even ponder or consider it. All he did was sit me in front of a machine with numbers and letters and lenses that he kept changing. And he asked me to tell him when I was seeing as best as possible. And I remember none of that felt comfortable, and I didn't really see really well at any given point. But when I saw best, I told him that was the best. And so he wrote in a piece of paper that I had so many diopters of myopia, nearsightedness, astigmatism, and double vision. And I remember holding that paper in my hand and asking him, okay, but why didn't I have these things yesterday and I have them today? Again, the question entered one ear, went out the other. He never answered. And he just told me to go get myself glasses with that prescription. And I remember I was extremely furious about this lack of answer. And nevertheless, I left politely and paid him for the consultation. But the minute I was outside of his office, I remember that I broke that piece of paper, threw it to the trash, and I told myself, I'm not going to stop until I find an answer to the cause, an understanding to the cause. And if there is no other solution, maybe I'll buy glasses. But first, I need to understand. So at that time, I was starting my PhD. So I was in a very scientific mind, wanting to find solutions to causes or causes and effects. So I remember going back home. I still was seeing blurry and double, and it was very uncomfortable. But at this time, the anger was bigger, the frustration was bigger than the worry for not seeing well. And when I got home, I started calling my friends to like express what I had inside. And I remember one of them told me, look, Ainhoa, I cannot promise that my doctor will find the solution for what you have. But what I can assure you is that at least he will examine you and try to understand what has happened. And I was like, okay, I buy. That's exactly what I need. So the next day, I go to this other doctor's office. It was still winter, but he gave me an appointment in the morning, and it happened to be a sunny day. So I'm going to the doctor on a beautiful sunny day. He has a very welcoming space with big windows, with lots of light, and it's a colorful, welcoming space. And the moment I go into his office, he has a smile, looks at me into the face, a very welcoming context. And the reason why I'm also showing you the contrast between the two situations or the two experiences is because you learn throughout the Wake Up Your Eyes free masterclass that these conditions also do impact your eyesight, and how you feel, and the sun, and the colors, and the connection. Anyway, so I talked to this other doctor who wasn't even an ophthalmologist. He was just a family doctor. And he listens to me very carefully. I tell him that the day before I woke up seeing double and very blurry, when I am a person who sees very, very well, who sees perfectly, far and near, during the night, during the day, with both eyes. And so he listens carefully. He examines me. And when he's examining me, or after he does it, he looks at me and he says, young lady, what you have is sinusitis. Ah, okay, that makes sense. And because you have the sinusitis, so there's pressure on your sinuses, right? And the sinuses are just around the eye socket, right? And because they're making pressure around the eye globe, they're pressuring the eye globe, and that's what's causing the refractive error. The pressure on the eye globe is causing the refractive error because of the inflammation of the sinuses. Okay, that makes sense. So if the cause is the sinusitis, in this case, what is the solution? Well, in this case, it was taking antibiotics for 7 days. The doctor told me, take them for a week. If after a week you still have eyesight issues, come back and we'll see what else we can do. And if you see again perfectly, you don't need to come back. Well, I never saw that doctor again. And actually, maybe I could have come back to thank him because I was really grateful of the result. But the thing is that I never had eyesight issues after that for many, many years. And I remember, so at this time, the solution came at the chemical level. And I remember having thought, how many people may there be out there that had a refractive error because of some pressure of their on their eyes, some tension that maybe could have been solved, but if they immediately went to the eye doctor and, like me, the eye doctor told him to wear glasses. Yeah, I'm borrowing glasses because I don't wear them, right? The moment you put the glasses in front of the eyes, right, the eyes get adjusted, the eyes get used to it, and then you become dependent on the glasses. Has this happened to you? Has this happened to you that when you started wearing glasses, then you needed them more and more to see? Mhm. And then over time, your eyesight became actually worse, not better. Uh-huh. Well, I remember having asked myself that question. How many people may there be out there that maybe could have solved the issue in a different way, but didn't because they didn't have a doctor explaining to them? It's because there is some pressure or some tension around your eye globe and you can solve it. Yeah. So anyway, maybe that's a story for some of you. In any case, that was mine. And also, I wonder if you're familiar with this story I'm going to tell, because this is also something that happens to a lot of people. It hasn't happened to me because I have never bought a pair of glasses for me. I don't own glasses. These are borrowed. So I can do this. So I can do this example, so I can illustrate this. So has this happened to you that so you don't break the paper like I did and you go to the shop to buy your glasses, right? That they prescribe to you after measuring you. And then when you get to the shop, they tell you, okay, so we really need to make a specific set of glasses with these specifications that your eye doctor told you. And because we're doing them by measure for you, um, we will need to take a couple weeks to create the special glasses for you. And so, okay, you go back a couple weeks later. 2 weeks later, they don't evaluate your eyesight again. Mhm. They just take the paper that you have and they look into a drawer and they pull a pair of glasses that are yours, right? Are supposed to be yours. And so you put the glasses on and you're like, are you sure these are my glasses? Because they're really uncomfortable. I don't see well with them. Mhm. And then, what do they tell you? They tell you, but now your eyes have to get used to seeing through the glasses. Was this said to you? Is this something that has happened to you? And I'm seeing people saying that, yes, I have wondered if constant wearing is detrimental to sight. There's scientific research that shows it is. And Lavinia says, and I have chronic sinusitis. Okay, so this can have been a cause for you. So did this happen to you that they told you you had to get used to the glasses? Okay, oh my, that's exactly what I was told. Okay, well, if you are told that you can get used to the glasses, that you have to get used to the glasses so that you can see well through the glasses, that means that your eyes have the capacity of adaptation, meaning they can also learn to see well without the glasses, because either the eyes can adapt or they cannot. Mhm. So your eyes can adapt to seeing better without the glasses. Okay, your eye doctor is telling you to wear your glasses more, not less. Well, we're going to have different ideas here. And Marcia is saying, yes, I need them all the time. Okay, so how come that these pair of glasses that were made specifically for you, when you put them on, you're like, oh my God, I don't see anything? That's also weird. They were made by measure for you. What if you wanted to buy a pair of shoes, made by measure for your shoes, and you went to an expensive shoemaker, because usually when the shoes are made by measure, they're more expensive, right? So you go to the shoemaker, and he or she takes all the measures and tells you, because I'm going to make shoes specifically for your feet, come back in a couple weeks, because it's going to take time to make the shoes for you. And so 2 weeks later, you come to the shoemaker, you put the shoes on the feet, and you can barely stand up on them because they hurt everywhere. Would you accept that the shoemaker would say, but now your feet have to get used to your shoes? No, you wouldn't. They were made by measure for your feet. So they should fit, right? They should fit right. And they don't. So what happens with our eyesight? The thing is that our eyes are not a machine. They're not fixed. They're like other body parts. They change. Mercy is like, ha, 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 no way. Yeah, your breathing changes, your heart rate changes, your sweat changes, your digestion changes. So what happens with the glasses? So I told you already, for you to start seeing worse, there's probably some pressure or tension or something that is changing the shape of your eye globe. So let's say, for example, you were in a very stressful time, and this is very common, actually. 80% of eyesight issues happen when you're going through something very stressful and your muscles tense, right? So, and we'll talk about this in lesson 3 a lot. So let's say that the day that you go to the eyesight measure to the ophthalmologist, you have this level of tension. You're very tense. 2 weeks later, you're still tense, because if you weren't, you would see better. But the level of tension is not as much because, I don't know, you've digested things or whatever. It's just a different level of tension. And now they give you glasses that are measured to see clearly with this degree of tension. So when you wear the glasses, you have to keep your eyes tense to the same extent they were the day they were measured. And guess what? Muscle tension can become chronic. And if you never release it, it ends up becoming progressively worse and worse. It becomes like knots in your body. So one thing that you can do if you want to improve your eyesight naturally without glasses, contacts, or surgery, first thing, wear your glasses as little as reasonably possible. So everything you can do in your daily life that you can do without glasses, remove them so you can allow your eyes to relax. Yeah. And we'll give you more tips for things that relax your eyes. Actually, in video 1, we talked about palming, and we'll go deeper in palming today. Of course, if you need to wear the glasses for something that's important or dangerous, if you don't wear them, like if you need them for driving, wear them for now until you can change your driving license. And we know people that have been absolutely capable of transforming and changing their driving license. And now the driving license says no need of glasses. Yeah. But for now, if you need them for driving, wear them, because we want for you to be safe. We don't want for you or anybody to have an accident, right? Or if you're going to do accounting and you need to see little numbers for now, wear your glasses if it's needed, or if you're going to use dangerous tools. But everything else that you can do without glasses, it's better to do it so your eyes can relax. Yeah. And you can even keep a notebook where you write all the things that you can do now that you couldn't do before without the glasses, and that you see well enough that you can do it without glasses. Yeah. So now you understand what's going on. And there's many other inconveniences when you wear glasses, but at least we're going to talk about this one today. Lavinia is even saying, I get tense when I see the ophthalmologist. A lot of people do. And when you do an eye exam, people usually get nervous with exams, right? So at the moment when they're measuring They're creating a situation. I don't think that they do it on purpose. I'm not saying that, but it happens where you're even more tense. So your glasses are keeping you tense all the time, keeping your eyes tense, and also keeping you very often in the state of mind you were when you were having all that tension. So it also makes it difficult to digest your own emotions. Actually, there's this whole line of psychotherapy called EMDR that helps people go beyond trauma and digest trauma and solve trauma by moving the eyes. And actually, when we're wearing glasses, because the glass is done, the glasses are curved. So where you see well is in the center of the glass. So to see sharp, you have to look through the center of the glass only, which inhibits the movement of your eyes. And that also creates more tension, and also it keeps you from being able to solve the emotional issues and the trauma, as EMDR shows. So there's many reasons, and there's even more for not wearing glasses as much as possible, but these are a couple. Oh, Kathy's saying part of the reason I started wearing glasses all the time is because my boyfriend said I look better in them. Okay, I know that they have become some kind of fashionable item. And I've even seen students of mine at the university, not in the natural vision classes, but in other classes, that wear frames without glasses, without lenses, because they find them fashionable. But, well, high heel shoes may be fashionable, but they're not so good for your feet and your posture in the long run. And smoking was sexy at some point, but it's not very good for your health. So at some point, you can see what makes more sense for you. And of course, you're free to choose whatever you please. Anyway, so this was the second time that I had vision problems. I had myopia and astigmatism. And thanks to this doctor that I told you about, I learned a great deal about the causes of eyesight problems. Many eyesight problems are due to tension in the muscles. We'll talk about this a little bit more, but you saw it a little bit in video number 1. And this is one of the main points of Dr. Bates's theory that sustains natural vision improvement. And I still had a third time where I had eyesight issues. That was in 2007. By then, I had finished my PhD. I was already a tenured professor at the University of Lille in the north of France, the University of Science and Technologies of Lille. But at the time, I was a guest researcher at the Autonomous University of Barcelona in Spain, and I was also editing a special issue of a scientific journal. And so I had to read lots of articles in a short period of time. So I would print them 2 pages in one, so I could read them faster. And I started noticing that in the subway of Barcelona, I wouldn't be able to read the names of the stops. And on the other hand, when I would read my articles for the journal, I had to put the articles far away or I wouldn't see the letters. So I was like, third time that I have eyesight issues. But by then, I already knew that they could be transcended, that they could be healed, because I had already done it twice in my life, right? And also, at the time, it had been about 5 years that I had been studying also psychosomatic approaches that work with the idea that any symptom that appears in your body is the reflection of some tension in your consciousness, some stress, because of something happening in your life, and that you can take symptoms as messengers, as metaphors that are giving you information about what you need to change in your life so that you can let go of the symptom again. And so I thought, okay, so I have eyesight issues. I cannot see near or far away. But I already know that this can be solved. And now I'm exploring this new approach. So how about I give myself the chance to solve it from this emotional point of view? And so I gave myself 2 months of time to solve whatever it was that I was going through, that I needed to solve in my life. And if at the end of 2 months I wouldn't see clearly again, then I would maybe buy the glasses, right? So I went to an ophthalmologist with this state of mind, and this lady told me that I had developed a presbyopia, and I was in my early 30s. So it felt like if I had aged 20 years all of a sudden, yeah, because people get presbyopia in their 50s or their 40s, but not in their early 30s. So I was like, oh my God, what am I doing to myself? And then I also did, so I also got astigmatism, yeah. And so I went back home to my books on the topic, and I used um, I used all those tools to release the emotions and understand the message. And at the end, actually before the 2 months time, I was again seeing very, very well, near, far away, at night, during the day, with my left eye, with my right eye. And this has been a number of years ago, because we're in 2024, right? And I still have an amazing eyesight at all levels, and I'm not younger. So the thing that eyesight absolutely declines with age, or that it has genetic causes and things like that, we'll talk about this more in lesson number 2, but it doesn't have to be that way. And if I have been able to do it, you can do it too. And if you notice, the first time I improved at the physical level, the second time I improved at the chemical level, and the third time I improved at the emotional level. So I started wondering if there were more levels of vision improvement. And that's, well, I had already started a bit earlier than that, but I went more in depth into research around eyesight and vision improvement. And I found that there are more levels for vision improvement. And you'll discover that in lesson number 4. And I'm reading Michelle that says, I did EMDR with glasses and it worked. Yes, but you were moving your eyes. And so when you move your eyes, EMDR works. However, when you're wearing glasses all the time, the glasses naturally inhibit the natural eye movement. That's what I was saying. Yeah. Okay, and I see Nisha is saying it's too early to say, but it felt good. I do palming and wear glasses again. Does it strain my eyes? We'll get into those questions in a moment. I'm going to answer plenty of other questions. But first, I would like to give a review of what we call the secret of natural vision improvement, and the ideas that Dr. Bates told us about how the eyes work, how focusing work actually, and how the most common refractive errors appear. And because I have Pamela with me, and Pamela is part of the team of the ClearSight Method, and she's a trained vision educator. She actually has 3 trainings in the ClearSight Method, and also in visual yoga of Teresa Pellejero. And she also went to the Spanish school of the Bates Method. So we're very proud to have her in the team. So Pamela, before we talk about Bates' theories on refractive errors, I would like for you to tell us a little bit about your own story. How did you discover Wake Up Your Eyes? What happened? How did you improve? What was the before and after? Tell us a little bit about it, please.
Sure. Thank you, Ainhoa, for this space. Very happy to be here in this live. I start my journey on natural vision improvements in 2020, just before that all this pandemic happened. And I discovered about the Wake Up Your Eyes course, free course, for a friend that was living in Spain. And I at that time I had myopia and astigmatism, and I get used to use glasses for almost 18 years. And that was my normal life every day. Since I wake up, I put my glasses on, and the whole day was with glasses. But I realized that every year I have to do glasses again and glasses again, and going high and high and high the dioptria. So I was trying to look for a different solution at that moment. And my friends talked to me about your free course, and I was like, how is that possible? I never heard about natural vision in my life. What are you talking about? So since that, I start to Googling, see everything that I can. and I just signed up, and now it's 4 years of this journey. So I really, really love about natural vision because it helps to me, and I know and I have the experience that helps a lot of other people. I can do my life without glasses now, so I don't use glasses anymore. So for me, that's an enormous and tremendous progress. Um, and that's why I'm here. After that, I took the certification with you, and yes.
I would like to ask you, well, first of all, you say, and that's the case, so you came into the free masterclass and you have nothing to lose and everything to gain to see with your own eyes. And you can see with your own eyes how it works. So two questions. First, so now it's 4 years later and you still don't need glasses and you're fine and you can do everything in life without the glasses. Um, how long did it take you to recover your eyesight? And do you keep doing some practices, or once it was recovered, that was the end? Because these are questions that people ask. So and even though there's differences, some people are faster and some people take more time. But tell us how it was for you.
Yes, all the time it depends on the case, right? In my specific case, since I started the Wake Up Your Eyes free course, I just say, okay, take out these glasses and don't use it anymore. And because at that moment was in the pandemic situation, so I was at home. So that helped me to get used to do certain things in my regular and day basics and without the glasses. The only one that I keep to using it was for driving. So I keep driving the glasses for driving during nights because that's where I felt not comfortable and safe to do it without glasses. And I think that almost like 6 months after, I didn't use any more glasses even for driving. And now, if I, yes, it was very, very good for me. I practice almost every day. For me, natural vision techniques, it's part of my life. It's like brush my teeth or my hair or take water when I wake up every day. So it's my daily basis, and I try to keep always moving my eyes, as you was mentioned, right? And I work normally with screens all day, which means that I know that is the case for many people now around the world. So it's possible. It's possible to practice even if you need to do that many hours during the day.
Yeah, even if you live in the modern contemporary world where screens are here to stay and you don't go back to a cave, you can
Correct.
still use your eyesight and keep it working fine. Yeah, this is also important to say, because some people fear that in order to improve their eyesight, they're going to have to leave behind things that are important in their daily lives, and it's compatible with using screens. Of course, there are some things to pay attention to, and we're going to talk about that in lesson number 2, in the live of lesson number 2. But I also like what you say, that now there are a number of practices of natural vision improvement that have become part of your daily life, such as brushing your teeth or drinking water or combing your hair or taking a shower or putting cream on your face, or maybe doing
Mhm.
exercise for your body. You do things to keep in shape, or to keep clean, right? And why wouldn't you take a few minutes a day just to take care of your eyes when eyesight is so important? I was reading a book recently that was actually not about eyesight improvement, it was about habits in general. And this book said, it's Atomic Habits. Maybe some of you know this book. In
Mhm.
this book, it says that the body has 11 million sensory cells, 11 million cells that are devoted to our senses. And out of those, 10 million belong to eyesight, and 1 million to everything else: smell, taste, touch, hearing. So this is also saying how important our sense of eyesight is, and how how important it is in our connection to the world. So if you're taking attention and time, and dedication to other body parts or parts of your health that don't play such a big impact in how you stand in life as your eyesight, why wouldn't we take a few minutes every day to practice? And we're really talking about a few minutes. We're not talking about going to the gym 3 hours or three times, right, every day for an hour or something like that. It's just minutes, the same that it takes minutes to brush your teeth. Would you agree to that, Pamela?
Completely agree. And as everything new in our life, maybe at the beginning will take you a little bit more of attention that I need to do this palming every day, right? And we are going to talk about that when is the best time to palming and how much and all of that. But maybe at the beginning will take you attention and you need to be aware of practicing every single day. But after that, you will realize that it's on you, as any other technique that we will learn during
Mhm.
this free course. It will be with you every day. So you don't need like, okay, I need now to remember that I need to brush my teeth. It's the same thing, right?
Mhm.
With this.
Okay, so how about Pamela? I'm going to explain a little bit about
Mhm.
the eyeball and all of this, and then I'll call you back to talk about palming, and we can do this together. That works for you?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So we were talking about the secret of natural vision improvement, and this is also in video number 1, but we're going to review it a little bit again. So I mentioned how I had eyesight issues when I had sinusitis, and there was pressure on the eye globe, and that was creating a refractive error. This is a balloon, but I use it to illustrate this because it's very useful, and our eyeballs are also flexible. This is very anatomically precise, yes, but it's not flexible. So I'll show you a little bit this. Dr. Bates told us how to understand focusing, how our eyes focus, and how to understand also refractive errors. And when we talk about refractive errors, what are we talking about? Well, nearsightedness, myopia, farsightedness, hyperopia, astigmatism, and presbyopia, when we need glasses for reading when we're older. Yeah. And turns out that the eye has two mechanisms for focusing. And we're going to compare it with if you have a projector at home and you want to project, I don't know, a film on a screen or some slides on a wall, or maybe at work you've done that. And if you've had a projector to project images, you know that there's two things that you need to do to make the image sharp. The first thing you need to do is you need to put the projector at an appropriate distance from the wall, because if it's too far or too near, right, whatever you do with the little wheel, with the lens, it won't be sharp. So first you find the right distance, and then you move the little wheel with the lens to make the image completely sharp. Okay, so how does it work in the eye? And now I'm going to show the anatomically precise model. This is an eye 6 or 8 times bigger than our eye, right? A human eye. It's actually supposed to be a right eye, but it's more practical to hold it on the left. So what is the little wheel with the lens in the eye? Well, it's the crystalline. This was discovered in 1855 by Hermann von Helmholtz, a German ophthalmologist and physicist that studied optics and realized that the lens can change shapes depending if we want to see near or far. If we want to see near, the lens bulges up and it has a magnifying glass effect. And when we look far away, the lens becomes flat and then we can focus flat. For the lens to bulge up, the muscles, the ciliary muscles that are here, need to get tense. Yeah. So seeing near requires effort from the muscles for the crystalline to become a magnifying lens. And when we look far away, the muscles relax. So this is a first key, a first tip. If you want to relax your eyes, besides doing palming, and we'll talk more about palming in a moment, you also want to look far away as often and as long as possible. And what happens in our everyday life nowadays? Well, if we're not at the computer, we're in front of a phone or a tablet, or we're reading a book, or we're at home with our walls around us, or maybe we're in the car. So the moments to look far away are much less than a few decades ago, right? Even from 2020 onwards, we have noticed that we spend a lot more time in front of computers and screens and devices and indoors. So it's important to look far away to relax the ciliary muscles that make the crystalline work. And also, it's very important to look far and near at different distances so that the crystalline is moving much more often, because it keeps the crystalline flexible. It keeps the aqueous humor going in and out of the crystalline, nourishing it, cleansing the toxins, and making it keep young. And that not only prevents presbyopia, but it also prevents cataracts in the long run. Whereas if we're looking near all the time, guess what? You may get myopic more faster, you'll get presbyopia faster, and you'll get cataracts faster. Now, I said that in the human eye, there are two focusing mechanisms. And of course, this mechanism has been known for a very long time, right? And it's the equivalent of the little lens, the little wheel of the projector. But we said that there was an even more important focusing factor for the projector, which was having the projector at the right distance from the wall. So what does that work in the eye? Well, the muscles that are around the eye. We have the straight muscles that we have, right? There's 4 of them, up, down, and to the sides. I can show them in this other model. It's also right eye. This would be the nose. And you can see the straight muscle up and down, it's here. And there's another one in here, right? If I take it with my balloon, it would be something like this. The straight muscles keep the eye in the socket, and they also help the eye move around. And there's also the oblique muscles. So you have it here, and here. In this other model, you can see it's here, under the straight one. And here, it's a bit more difficult to see, but it's here. And so the oblique muscles are holding the eye like a belt. And now, so if we want to focus near, the oblique muscles are going to create a zoom effect for the eye. And if we want to focus far away, the straight muscles are going to make the eye shorter. That's what is the equivalent to moving this projector closer or further away from the screen or the wall. Now, guess what? If your oblique muscles in your eye are permanently tense for whatever reason, sinusitis or stress or muscle tension or whatever, your eye is permanently too long, which means that you can focus near, but you cannot focus far away. And what is that called in everyday life? Nearsightedness or myopia. So a myopic eye, an eye that is nearsighted, is an eye that is too long because there's too much muscle tension in it. And now I'm making it very exaggerated with the balloon, so it's obvious, so it's visible. But you need to know that 1 millimeter of difference in the shape of the eye, in the length of the eye, already creates 4 diopters or 4 degrees of correction needed for glasses to compensate it. So really, just not all that much tension in your muscles is already creating a refractive error. And so when the straight muscles are the ones that are tense, it creates an eye that is too short. An eye that is too short can focus far away, although depends on the distance, but cannot focus near. And what is this? A far-sighted eye, an eye that is too short for seeing near. And if the straight muscles have irregular tensions, then that creates that the eyeball and the cornea have the shape of an American football or a rugby ball instead of having the shape of a soccer or basketball, right? And so it creates distortion in the way the image is projected to the retina, and that's astigmatism. Yeah. And how about presbyopia and the need for reading glasses? Well, in that case, the muscles that are tense, that have become too rigid because you haven't been moving your eyes enough and looking at different distances, are the ciliary muscles. Yeah. And so your crystalline is now staying in a fixed position and you cannot focus as you want. So this is very interesting. And now, if the cause of the four most common refractive errors is muscle tension, then what is the solution? Well, relaxing those muscles, but also moving them so that they have the right tonus and they can focus at whatever distance you want. Your eyes need relaxation, and I bet you haven't been giving relaxation to your eyes intentionally. And you need to know that your eyes are the first organ that get tense when you're stressed, and the last one to release the tension. Even at night, your eyes are moving. When you're dreaming, they're active. So you need to put some attention into relaxing your eyes on purpose, intentionally. Yeah. Looking far away is one way, palming is another way, and we're going to talk about it in a moment. But I also want you to notice something else. Your eyes, in order to be able to focus at different distances, need the muscles to be relaxed so that they can move and do their job, right? And a way to illustrate this, to show you this, we already talked about focusing and the role of extraocular muscles. We're going to see about tension and relaxation. I'm going to ask you to take your arms and tense your arms as much as you can. Make them tense. And now that they're very tense, with lots of tension, try to move them. You can't. If your muscles are tense, your arms cannot move. Your arms need to be relaxed. And of course, there's going to be muscles involved in their movement, but there needs to be enough relaxation for movement to happen. So your eyes need relaxation. Yeah. So now I'm inviting you back, Pamela, because we talked about looking far, but a very amazing technique, and for me, it's one of the star techniques in natural vision improvement to relax the eyes on purpose, intentionally, is palming. So shall we talk about palming together? Do you want to show how palming is done, and then we can address the most common questions about palming?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, I give you the
Okay.
stage. Respond.
Thank you, Ainhoa. So the first step that we're gonna do to do palming is to take out any glasses or contact lenses that we are using. Then we are going to use our hands. This is our main way to do it. So the idea is that we can rub our hands to make them warm, and we release, right, every tension and everything. And then we can do the palming. Well, the way that I'm going to explain is seated in a chair, right? I'm going to put my elbows in the table, and when I'm ready with my hands, after rubbing them, I'm going to put my hands like a cup, little cups, and I'm going to put my eyes over them. And we need to make sure that our hands is on the forehead area, right? And we are not overpressing our eyes, okay? And also we need to make sure that we can breathe, okay? Because that's important thing, to be relaxed, that we can breathe with calm, with sufficient air. So if we press our nose, maybe we will not be able to relax, okay? And then we are going to do the palming with the eyes closed. So we can make sure that we have dark with our hands, so any light is coming. And when we are there, so we can close our eyes and just relax. And we are going to stay there as much as is comfortable for us. Sometimes at the beginning, for some persons, can be a little bit difficult to do a lot of minutes palming. But when you are doing every day, several times, you get used to do it, so you can extend the time of doing palming. And I don't know if I'm missing something. I know overall.
It's very good for a first introduction to palming, and now we're going to answer some very commonly asked questions about palming. Yeah, so now some people ask, you already said it, Pamela, but some people ask if they should do palming with glasses or contacts. My goodness, it doesn't work.
No.
So you remove your glasses and contacts for the palming, and actually, my recommendation would be after the palming, keep the glasses or the contacts away for as long as reasonably possible. Of course, if you're going to drive and you still need glasses for driving, you want to wear them. But if you don't need to see absolutely super sharp immediately, uh, keep the glasses away as long as it's reasonable, and allow yourself to notice what changes when you do the palming. You will probably feel your eyes more relaxed, more expanded. Your face also relaxes. The eyes become more alive. But take the time to notice what changes. Very likely, you're going to see the light more shiny, colors brighter, and probably you're also going to see sharper. If you look at letters of different sizes, you can notice how you can read better, how you can see better. But if you immediately put the glasses on, then you're going to create again the tensions in your eyes that you were just relaxing from, and back to the dependency of the glasses. So keep the glasses away as long as possible after palming. You mentioned the position. But there are many ways, many positions in which we can do palming. You want to take it?
Yes, for sure. We can, as I mentioned, sit it and put our arms in a table, but also you can do it laying down. You can use a pillow or a scarf to put your elbows in a position that is not tense on your shoulders or your neck, and you can do it in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And also you can put it in the thinker position. So I don't know how to explain that, but you can put your elbows in your knees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm seeing there, and then you do the same steps that we already discussed. That's another way to do palming as well.
And if you don't have a table in front of you that you can put a pillow over to put your elbows, if you have a chair, you can also turn the chair around, sit in the opposite direction, so that you can put your arms, yeah, on the thing for the back, right? And you could even do palming when you're in the toilet, right? You're
Yep.
sitting there already. You're gonna be there for a few minutes, so you can use the thinker's position. You can put your elbows on your knees, and you can rest your hand. Now, this position, warning, it's important to say that if you had some kind of detachment, or if you have glaucoma or high myopia, you don't want to put the head down. You want to keep it up. So then, using the table or the back of the chair would be a better position for you in that case. Now,
Yeah.
this is a question that they ask to us all the time. Is palming done with eyes open or eyes closed?
Eyes closed for sure. That's the idea. And maybe to mention, I know that one of the reasons that we need to close and be on the darkness is like when we need to put new cartridge in our printer, we need to recharge, and we have some cells in our retina and in our area where we are in darkness, they recharge. Those cells recharge. So when we open our eyes again, we can be well, we can see more colors, and we can see even more clearly after that. Is because of that. So that is important to keep our eyes closed during the palming.
Absolutely. We are trying to achieve several things with palming. On the one hand, the warmth of the hands, yeah, is relaxing the eye muscles because the heat relaxes the muscles and that helps focusing. But we also want the darkness of the palming because with the darkness, as Pamela said, we renew the opsins, some proteins that we that help these cells see in colors and see contrast. So, like you said, we're recharging the cartridge of the eye printer when we are in
Yeah.
darkness. We can also do that with blinking and sleeping at night, but with palming, we have a very good high quality of darkness. Sometimes people have lights in the room when they sleep, right? And we'll talk about this. You should sleep in a room as dark as possible for your best eyesight. And also, the darkness and the relaxation of the eyes tend to have a very calming effect on the nervous system. People say that they actually sleep much better when they do palming just before sleeping, and that's a recommendation also. And during the palming, you actually want to rest your eyes. So you're not going to be clapping your eyes. You don't want to exert any pressure on your eyes. You're not at the same time doing eye exercises. The idea is to relax and calm them. Yeah. You want to say something about the standard position of your hands for palming?
I think you covered well.
Okay. Now, sometimes people have more comfort putting the hands in parallel than crossing the fingers on the forehead. That is fine. Or if you have a cast on one arm or there's a missing arm, you can palm like alternatively the eyes. But the idea is that it's called palming because we are using the palms of our hands. It's not fingering, right?
Mhm. Yes,
It's
right.
palming. It makes a difference. It's darker, it's more relaxing, and maybe people have studied also different approaches that teach that the palms of the hands have some energy centers, so it's actually soothing and healing when you're using the palms of the hand.
Yeah.
So
And
great.
maybe I know as something that I
Yes,
forgot to mention when I was explaining the palming is when we finish the palming, we don't do like just this and open your eyes and start again, right? Is we need to relax also on that moment because we are gonna pass from the dark to the light. So we need
absolutely.
to give time to our eyes to get used to the light so we can blink oftenly. Uh, what I do personally is I open my eyes when I'm ready with my hands on, and then I close it again and I just take out my hands, my palms, and I just give some seconds or minutes if I can, and I have enough time to get used to the light entering through my eyes, and then I start to blinking, blinking at, and I get used to the light again.
Absolutely. Great. So you also want deep and ample breathing while you're doing the palming because you also want to bring oxygen to your eyes and your brain. Actually, the eyes only weigh like 7 grams, 7 grams and a half. They're this very little part of our body, and even the brain and the eyes together weigh less than 10% of our body weight, but they consume 25% of the oxygen. So actually, the eyes and the brain need the oxygen. You're breathing. You need to pay attention at your breathing while palming and make it calm and deep, like Pamela said. Also, sometimes people ask, is a blindfold or just being in the dark the same as palming? No, it's not, because we don't only want the darkness, which we want, we also want the heat and the energy from your hands. Palming has much better results than just a blindfold or sleeping in the dark, which are, of course, useful. If you're going on a plane, you want to use a blindfold not to have all that stimuli, and you want to sleep in the darkness, it's useful too, but palming has extra benefits. And how long should you practice palming? Well, Pamela said it, as long as it feels comfortable. And at different moments, at different times, comfort may, or discomfort or lack of interest may arise at different times. So just go with what you feel. right? If you feel and have the time for doing a longer palming, great. But if you can do a palming of 1 minute or 5 minutes, it's also going to be very, very good for you. Now, there's a warning with time, and that is that if you have glaucoma, you shouldn't go beyond 5 minutes. Actually, you could go as long as 7 minutes, but five is easier to remember, and then you are sure that you don't do it too much. You can palm several times around the day, along, so you can do several palmings of 5 minutes in the day or less than 5 minutes, but don't go beyond the 5 minutes because it won't be good for helping the extraocular, the aqueous humor go out, and the I will say then the intraocular pressure could increase, right? So 5 minutes max for glaucoma. Okay, let me see. Also, more questions that we usually get. Um, okay, I need to do something technical here. Apparently, there's been some issue. Maybe you can talk about the next questions.
Sure. So the next question, a common question is how many days, how many times a day? So as we mentioned before, it's like when we brush our teeth every day. So we really highly recommend to do palming every day. And how many times a day? As many as suitable for you. So we highly recommend to do palming before going to bed because that's a way that we can sleep with our eyes relaxed. So we'll take more benefits while we are sleeping. And even more if we are sleeping in a dark room, so it will be even better. In my personal case, sometimes when while I am doing palming before to sleep, I just get asleep, and I even didn't know when I get asleep. So it's a good warning and sign that I'm relaxed to go to sleep. And so ending palming, as I was mentioned before, blinking or do snapshots before to just keep your eyes openly and start again the task or whatever activity that you need to continue doing. It's really important. We can do snapshots when we say snapshots, we mean that we have our eyes closed and then we open, take like the snapshot and then close the eyes, and we keep or we remind everything that we saw in that snapshot, everything that I had in front of me, the screen, the light, the ceiling, the chair, the floor, whatever was there. And as soon as that snapshot disappears, so we can open again and close, and we can do that uh, several times until we can start again.
Thank you, Pamela. I was trying to take care of the technical issue. Apparently, StreamYard got disconnected from the YouTube account, and they're trying to
Oh,
hook it together. So somebody in the team is taking care of that. So people in Facebook should still be listening to everything, but we're trying to fix it for YouTube. So anyway, let's continue. So when you're doing palming, the most common sensations are those of relaxation and stretching and amplifying of the eyes and the face and openness. But it may happen that you have other kinds of sensations, like unusual sensations in your eyes that are a bit weird, or you can even get a headache, or you could even get some sensations of nausea. And you need to know that your stomach or the solar plexus is the reflex area of the eyes. So when you're getting nausea or headaches, or you have these weird sensations in the eyes, they're not very common, but when they happen, they are actually a good sign that your eyesight is getting better. Mhm.
mhm.
A lot of people actually get nausea when they're starting to wear glasses. Guess what? We're doing the reverse process. We're letting go of all the tension that is causing the refractive errors. But sometimes to go through that reverse process, you also go through a bit of nausea. So not comfortable, yes, but a good sign. If you get those, you probably want to take a hot water bath or do more palming until it goes away. But just know that it's a good sign. Like if you wanted to run a marathon and you haven't been running in forever, the first times you start drowning, what is going to happen? You'll have muscle aches, right? And nobody thinks it's weird. Well, guess what? You haven't been moving your eyes for a long time. And when you start moving your eyes again, you may have a little bit of muscle aches. Yeah. So it's okay. You can go with it. Okay, and you can add music or some nice scents, or you can meditate while you're palming, or do affirmations. That's very compatible if it makes it nicer for you. And we want to stress that palming is very useful for any symptom you may have. For any eye condition you have, palming is useful, not just for refractive errors, also for floaters or dry eyes or watery eyes, or when you have sensitivity to light, or if you've had macular degeneration or glaucoma or retinal detachment or cataracts. All the eyesight symptoms improve when you are palming, with and by palming. So it's useful and it can be done at any age. You can do it when you're 80, when you're 90. You can start anytime and it will be good for you. And if you want it for your kids, well, maybe in that case, you can do it on them while they're sleeping at night. Yeah, you can cover their eyes with your hands, or you can sit them on you looking to the front, and you can cover their eyes as they sit on you. But palming is super extra useful. Thank you very much, Pamela, for being with us, going through palming, and after telling us about your story. I would like to know if among the people who are here with us, Elia, Anna, Paki, Alicia, if one of you would like to also share your story about eyesight improvement. Okay, Alicia. So let me thank you, Pamela. Alicia, so tell us about what happened. How did you discover Wake Up Your Eyes? What was going on for you, and how it changed for you, and how it is now? Tell us everything.
Well, I remember the day I met you back in the day. I don't remember when, 2016, and you were telling me about your story and all of that stuff. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm still wearing glasses. And the problem is, like, you're wearing glasses for everything. I work in the computer a lot, and having this vision all the time, staying in the computer. Well, my story is that actually I had a retinal detachment just from stress and from being in the computer for a long time. And I was wondering what was happening, but all of a sudden I felt like it was like a spark of pain. And I'm like, and I kept telling my husband, can you look inside? Can you see what's inside? So anyway, I was lucky enough to go the day after to go see an ophthalmologist, and she sent me right away to a clinic where I actually had surgery that day. But I remember asking, is like, what caused the retinal detachment, or what can I do about it? Oh, we don't know. And is there anything I can do about it? No, you need surgery right away. So anyway, so after that retinal detachment, my eyesight on my good eye started not being very good. And of course, you go to see an ophthalmologist or an optometrist, and all they want to do is increase your, you need more magnification on your glasses, because it's the only way, and you're getting older and such on. So anyway, when I actually signed up to be a coach, because I'm like, that is the best way for me to actually exercise my eyes. And truly enough, I started being more conscious about it. The place where I live, actually, we don't have much sun, but funny enough, the sun is coming out right now. So I'm ready to go out to get sun on my eyes. And I started doing all the exercises that I've been learning and teaching others how to do. And all I can say is I don't wear glasses most of the day. I don't wear glasses a lot. I try to avoid them. I do the palming that you were listening to. It's the most amazing thing ever. And listening also to a lot of people around me. I mean, there is this, we've known a lot of people in which everybody's eyesight is improving. And it is like truly waking up your eyes. Wake up your eyes, remove glasses as much as you can. Do the palming as many times in the day as you like. Of course, with the guidelines said you need to learn how to do palming properly. Be outdoors. It's not that you're going to be sun tanning or anything like that, but be outdoors, enjoy the sun, close your eyes, see the sun. Again, there's some guidelines. There's guidelines about exercises, but in reality, it's true. You can definitely wake up your eyes, get rid of glasses, see more color, see more brightness. Everything is more colorful since I started doing my all of these exercises. First thing I do whenever I wake up in the morning, first thing I do, I'm very thankful for having met Ainhoa, of course, but also very thankful about having all of these tools to improve my own eyesight. So every single day before I get out of bed, I am doing palming. Every night before I go to sleep, I am doing palming. And the thing is like, it's true. It's like when you want to exercise a muscle, you need to exercise the muscle. You need to do the exercises. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm done palming and that's it. It's like I know I showed you the different muscles in the eyes. You need to exercise the muscles, but you also need to put every single piece of the puzzle together, like the mental level, the emotional level, the chemical level, the physical level. So anyway, for me, it has been a blessing to have met you, Ainhoa, and I'm so happy to be part of this community.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you very much. I like very many of the things that you said, and I didn't know you knew me since 2016. So it's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. And you were talking about different levels, right? The mental level and the chemical level and physical level. And you were talking about sunshine. And I want to say that in lesson number 2, we're going to talk about sunlight and the benefits and the dangers of sunlight for your eyes and how you can harness the power of the sun for your eyesight improvement. And we'll talk about some other of these levels later in the other classes that are still remaining. And I'm very happy for you that after retinal detachment, you have improved so much. And kudos for you. Thank you very much for sharing.
No, thank you.
And Alicia was talking about things that your eyes need. And this is something that I want to also highlight. Your eyes need a number of things that when you give that to your eyes, they will improve. Whatever and regardless of what symptom you have, how old you are, if you had surgery or not. And so what are the things that the eyes need? They need relaxation for the muscles to be able to function and do their work for focusing. We've already talked about it. Palming is one of the ways. Looking far away is another one. Your eyes need movement. We'll tell more about movement in other lessons, but you can find ways to move your eyes to look at things that are interesting. Spending less time with glasses that tend to make your gaze rigid, looking far and near. Your eyes need central fixation. They need to look at details. And we'll talk about this a lot more in lesson number 2. By the way, tomorrow, we're going to release the video of lesson number 2, and there's a lot of value coming in that lesson as well. Your eyes need stimuli. They need things that make them happy. Look at the things that make you curious. Look at the things that you find beautiful, so that your eyes are interested about them. Your eyes need also contrast. They need contrast between light and darkness, for example. And we've talked about it a little bit today, and we'll talk about it more in lesson number 2. But they also need contrast of looking far and looking near. And nowadays we look a lot near, but not enough far away. They need contrast of looking down and looking up. Probably we look a lot down, but not enough up. They need contrast also with looking with one eye and the other. Everything that introduces contrast in your eyesight, for your eyesight and your eyes, is going to be good for your eyesight. Your eyes need light, and we're going to talk about this more in the next lesson. Alicia was talking about it. Your eyes also need good nutrition and detox. The eyes are these very small, delicate, sophisticated structures. When you don't give them the nutrients that they need, it's going to be noticeable in your eyesight. And when there's too much toxicity in your body, guess what? One of the organs where you'll notice it the most, or the first, is in your eyesight. So we'll talk about this also later on. And your eyes also need to be moist. They need hydration. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more. But when you blink, and we'll talk about blinking in a minute, when you blink, you create more humidity, more moist in your eyes, and also yawning and other practices that we're going to talk. And your eyes need oxygen. And we already said, we said about the importance of breathing and how much oxygen the brain and the eyes consume. So if you give your eyes these things, relaxation, movement, central fixation, or details to pay attention at, stimuli, contrast, light, nutrition and detox, hydration, and oxygen, they're going to function a lot better. And maybe you were already focusing on nutrition and you were already having good habits for eating. And if that's the case, great. But you probably didn't even know many of these other things that your eyes need. Yeah. So we'll give you more information about this in following lessons. But I promised that today I was going to give you 5 keys, tips, and exercises. Yeah. So that you can improve your eyesight naturally. So I'm going to deliver them now, but don't leave the moment I finish talking about the 5 keys, because there's more than that. Yeah. Elia, Anna, Paki, do any of you want to be with me as I talk about this? Elia volunteers. Yes, Elia. So before that, tell us a little bit about your vision journey. How did you discover Wake Up Your Eyes, the ClearSight Method, and what has changed for you?
Hello everyone, I am Elia. Well, my story with natural vision was a bit unexpected. I'm from Venezuela and I didn't know anything about natural vision until I meet Dr. Ainhoa and Wake Up Your Eyes, in Spanish, Despierta tu visión. I used to wear glasses, and as you can see now, I don't use them. Here you can see the proof. They are my little dusty, but I keep them on my desk to remind me daily that I can live without glasses. The natural vision exercise, especially the palming, has helped me to relax my vision a lot, because my stress usually manifests itself with tension in my eyes, and sometimes being able to relax is complicated for me. And this simple exercise help me to relax, help me to do it in a simple way. That's wonderful, because it also changes the way you look at life. It just changes your life.
Great. Thank you very much, Elia, for sharing. And what is funny is that usually it's not that way. The people that come work in our team, now there's about 20 people between permanent people working and collaborators. Very often, many of them have been our students first, yeah, and they have got some kind of training with us. But Elia actually is part of the ClearSight Method team. She first started working for us. She knew nothing about natural vision improvement. And because she worked for us, she got interested and started practicing, and she could let go of the glasses, right? So it's a funny story, but that's how it was for you. So let's talk about now these 5 keys, tips and exercises for better vision that we promised from the beginning. So first we're going to talk about blinking. Yes, sorry, blinking. We already said, is there a chance to get access to the exercise after the video is done? Actually, this is recording, so if you have to go, Kathy, it's going to be available in YouTube and Facebook when we're done as well. I don't know if the issue that we had with YouTube was solved, but anyway, it's going to be recorded. You can watch the end of it later if you need to. So blinking. Blinking is absolutely essential for having good eyesight. When we blink, we stimulate the glands that produce the tear. So when we blink, our eyes are more moist. The blinking removes the old tear, yes, and then it goes through the nose, it's evacuated. And then it removes the dust or whatever, and the new tear keeps the cornea protected. It keeps it also more round because of the surface tension of the liquid on your eyes. Also, every time we blink, focus can relax, so all the muscles in the eyes can relax, the muscles that participate in focusing. Also, we have an instant where we can recharge again, as Pamela was telling us, the cartridges of ink of colors, so we can see in colors. And also, when we blink and we open the eyes, it creates a contrast between light and darkness, which is good exercise also for the iris, and is useful for people who have glaucoma because it helps take away the excess of aqueous humor. So there's a lot of benefits for blinking, plenty of benefits. And so probably you're not blinking enough. If you are wearing glasses, glasses tend us to keep the eyes staring. We have less opportunity of the air touching our eyes or things that stimulate us to blink. So people that wear glasses often inhibit their blinking. Also, it has been shown that when we're in front of computers and screens, we tend to fix our gaze and we forget to blink, sometimes for a long time. So part of the problem of the screens and the bad influence it has on eyesight is that we forget to blink. And it's very useful to have a post-it note around our screen saying, look far away or blink more. But in case you haven't noticed for yourself the effect of blinking on your eyes, I'm going to offer you to do a little exercise that will illustrate what I'm talking about. And this exercise actually is sometimes played as a game, and maybe you have known it for a while since you were a child. So we're going to practice it. I'm going to take time counter, and I'm going to set it for 30 seconds because it doesn't need to be very long to notice. Yeah. And so what are we going to do for 30 seconds? For 30 seconds, you are not going to blink. You're going to keep your eyes open as long as possible and inhibit blinking. And you're going to notice how your eyes feel. Yeah, so I'm going to start now. First, I blink a little bit to rest my eyes. And there. Now, don't blink. Keep looking without blinking as much as possible. It's actually, for me, quite hard. And I had to blink anyway. So that was like 12 seconds. I failed again. So anyway, keep your eyes without blinking as much as possible and notice what happens to your eyes as you keep your eyes open without blinking. If you're like me, they start, I stopped again. Okay, but now it's the end. Yeah. So if you're like me, when you don't blink, the eyes get very irritated. They itch, they burn. Sometimes they get watery. And all these things are not good for your eyes or your eyesight. I would like to see in the chat if you could write what has happened to your eyes when you don't blink. And now we are going. Now we're going to do Now we're going to do the opposite. We are going for 30 seconds to blink every second, and we are going to notice what it makes for your eyes when you blink very often. Yeah, I'm bringing you in, Elia, because you volunteered also to do this with you. Yes, so Michelle says when you don't blink, the eyes get dry. Absolutely. So now let's see what happens. The same as you, says Lavinia. So yes, very irritated, dry, they itch, they're not comfortable. So now Elia and I are going to blink every second, yeah, to invite you to blink very often. So Flanny says not blinky, felt itchy, exactly. And sometimes we're staring at the computer or with the glasses, we're not blinking enough, and it's harming our eyes and our eyesight. So now the opposite. I set it also for 30 seconds. Yeah. And we're going to blink every second. So blink, 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 and it's over. Okay, so how was it now that you have been blinking? You don't have your mic, Elia. For me, my eyes are moist, they are relaxed, and they feel a lot better than when I was not blinking. How was it for you, Elia? You need to put your mic on. Elia, maybe Elia is not listening to me. Okay, we lost Elia. So I don't know, Pamela, I believe you're there, but also Anna, Paki, we haven't seen you. If you were doing the exercise, so what happened when you were blinking compared to when you were not blinking?
My
Yes.
eyes are moist when I blink, and when I not don't blink, my eyes get irritated and dry, and I can stand it
Uh-huh. It's
for
hard.
long. Yes, it's
Paki,
hard.
you want to put the mic on, Paki? You don't have the mic?
Uh, yes, I had the same experience because when I didn't blink, it felt really uncomfortable. And I have to say that before discovering the natural vision, I worked for many years with computers. I had no idea I had to blink, and I was so used to getting my eyes so dry, I didn't really realize how uncomfortable and painful it was until the level of in, stress increased, and then I realized, oh, my eyes are not good, but I just put some drops on it, and I had no idea. I had to change that habit, and of course, blinking makes my eyes feel more comfortable.
So you used to need drops for your eyes, and now that
Yes,
you've discovered natural vision improvement, that you went through Wake Up Your Eyes, then you started blinking, do you still need the
yes.
drops or not anymore?
Not anymore because anyway, when you put the drops, the the drop lasts just a few seconds, so you have to put drops on and on and on all the time. But if you're very busy, you don't do it, and because it's not the same as having your own tears that you blink and your eyes do their work. So it has
Yes.
nothing to do when you put the drops.
Yes, and blinking is compatible with being busy. You can
Yes,
be
and cheaper.
working at the computer, you can be with your family, you can do whatever, and you can be blinking every couple seconds. So
Yes,
it's really a very good habit that doesn't take anything away from you and gives you good comfort for your eyes. So
yes.
we're going to talk about other practices that help the eyes keep moist. But since I have you in front of you, can you tell me a little bit more about who you are, how you discovered Wake Up Your Eyes? What was your experience
Well,
with natural vision improvement? How is it now? Yeah.
well, my story is quite long. I discovered the natural vision in summer 2020. I was expecting a new surgery that was going to be number 7 to have a replacement on my cornea with a really high risk of developing a retina detachment because on that eye I had 24 diopters of myopia and astigmatism, and I had developed many years ago a severe atrophy of the choroid and the retina. So my retina was already very damaged, and in every surgery, I had every time stronger side effects. So I was really afraid of having this new surgery, which was going to be much more invasive than all the other ones I had before. So my symptoms were when I was a little child, I had amblyopia, myopia, astigmatism. Well, I developed this atrophy after, well, I was a teenager when I was told that I had an atrophy because of the high myopia, because when I was a child, I already had a really high prescription. So when I had surgery on my eyes for the first time, because I had no idea back then that natural vision existed, I had surgery. I had an intraocular lens in one eye, laser in the other. There were problems. I needed more surgeries. They replaced the lens. Well, I developed double vision, strabismus, which I didn't have before the surgeries. Everything went worse and worse and worse. I had a keratitis for several months, which ended in another surgery, a cataract that developed after the treatment because was very long and it was very in I don't remember the word, but many drops, and they were very strong. So I lost the night vision in that surgery, and also for several months when I was awake during the day, every time I move um, a bit, I wouldn't say quickly, but with every movement, if it wasn't very slow, everything went black for 30 seconds until the light came back. So I was really afraid of having new surgeries because I wasn't even 40 when that happened. So I wasn't also very functional. I couldn't work because I wasn't functional. And I met the natural vision by luck. And when I learned that I could do something about it, I was really happy. And I had a lot of hope because every time I talked to the ophthalmologist, all they gave me a very doom. Everything seemed so difficult, and so everything was going to get worse and worse because now you're almost 40, and after 40 your sight will get worse. And I said, oh my god, but my sight is not very good already. How can it be worse? And it was really a bad moment back there. I used to cry for days after every visit to the ophthalmologist, but everything changed because I discovered I could do many things, many. And since then, my life is completely different because I know that I don't need more surgeries. In fact, they told me around 1 year ago that I don't need the surgery anymore. So the replacement of the cornea, at the moment, we don't need to even talk about it. And the visits, they are only once a year because before I needed to go every, I don't know, every month, and a lot of tests. And it was so stressing just going to the eye doctor. And now it's okay because I know that everything is better. The atrophy also has improved, it's no longer severe. So it's better than, I don't know, in 20 years. And the corneas also, because of all the surgeries, they were really damaged. And right now they are better. And well, everything is life. I see life in a different way. So it's like with more joy.
Wow, Paki, I had no idea that you had gone through such a combo of symptoms and surgeries and such a pessimistic prognosis from ophthalmologist. And you look functional and happy, and so now you can work again and do things. I'm delighted for you, and I'm very happy that you found me and you found Wake Up Your Eyes in Spanish and the ClearSight Method. But I'm extremely proud of you, of what you did for yourself, because the information without acting is just entertaining, right? But if you act on it, then you get the transformation. So I think that you would agree to what we said earlier, that the eyes need relaxation, movement, central fixation, stimuli, contrast, light, nutrition, detox,
Yes,
hydration, oxygenation, all of these things.
yes.
And of course, there's many ways to approach them, and we'll be teaching you more exercises. They can do wonders for your eyes and your eyesight. So you've
And
had, yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that when I discovered that I could do something about my sight to improve it, it opened also my mind to how many things can I improve about my health. Because, for example, I also had a very bad posture. I had tried to improve, but without much success. So I thought, well, I don't have to keep this posture all my life. So I started doing things with a different attitude, like, well, I can do it. If I can improve my sight, of course I can improve my posture. It will take me more time or whatever, but I realized that I empowered myself, and also because I also had breathing, well, not breathing symptoms, but I know that my breathing was also dysfunctional. So now I know it is very connected, but I didn't pay attention. I just thought, well, I cannot breathe very well, but what can I do? Or so many things. And then I started looking at things like, okay, what can I, what symptom do I have, or what issue do I have? Because I'm sure there's a way I can improve it. So life is completely different. My attitude is different, and of course I'm quite different right now.
I'm so happy you mentioned this, because a lot of people that go through Wake Up Your Eyes and the ClearSight Method, that go through our processes, of course, through the certification to become a vision coach, they say that it doesn't just transform their eyesight, but it actually transforms their vision of themselves, their vision of life, that it empowers them and it makes a much more beautiful life in so many other ways. So really, Paki, I'm super happy for you. I'm super proud of you. And you just saw an amazing example of what is possible when you learn and apply the techniques that we're teaching. And we're teaching them to you for free. So you don't have anything to lose and you have
Yes,
so much that you can gain. So I invite you to keep applying. And
yes.
so let's go back to the 5 keys, tips and exercises. Thank you, Paki. Anna, we'll give you more of an opportunity to speak, because I just showed you for a moment, but you haven't spoken yet. So 5 keys, tips, and exercises. We talked about blinking, and we did the exercise of trying not to blink for 30 seconds and blinking every second for 30 seconds as well. And you could see the difference. But there's more things that we can show you. And we asked if you feel different, and we saw how people feel different with blinking or not blinking. But more tips. So breathing is extremely important. Paki was also mentioning it. We were talking about it with Pamela. We need oxygen for our brain, for our eyes. And a way that you can breathe to make your breath deeper and slower and more calm, and to get more oxygen in your body, is to make your breathing longer, right? So you're going to want to breathe in for 4 times and actually breathe out for double that, for 8 times. Yeah. And when you do that, you empty completely your lungs from whatever air was there before, and it makes space for new fresh air. Mhm. And on the other hand, when your exhale is twice as long as your inhale, it also has a soothing, calming effect. Now, you'll notice that I say breathe in for 4 times and breathe out for 8 times, and I didn't say seconds. And there's a reason for that. I'm going to show you another tip for breathing. You could count seconds, but if you count heartbeats, it's even better. First, because you always have your heart with you. Yeah, you can measure it on your wrist or you can feel it directly in your chest. So this is the first reason why to count with your heartbeats instead of seconds. But there's a second and a third reason. The second is that, speaking of clocks, the second is that when the rhythms of your different systems go together, it creates congruence and harmony. So if your breathing goes with your heartbeat, it's creating harmony in your body and it functions better in a more relaxed way. Also, you'll notice that when you breathe with your heartbeat, your heartbeat changes. Yes, and as you are more relaxed, your heart beats slower, and so that encourages you to make a breathing even slower, which is even better for you. Okay, so let's try this. I want you to take your wrist or feel in your chest, whatever works better for you, and you're going to breathe in for 4 heartbeats and breathe out for 8. Breathe in for 4 and out for 8. In for 4, out for 8. We have done it only for 3 times, and you will probably have noticed that just in 3 times, the heartbeat went slower and the whole thing was deeper. Yeah? Okay, so try this and use it anytime you like. Another tip, yawning and stretching. They combine very well. When we stretch, we remove muscle tension from our upper body. And guess what? The eyes are connected through other muscle chains through the fascia. So when we have tension in our head, in our neck, in our shoulders, that can also affect our eyes, in our jaws. So when we stretch like a cat in the morning, right? Cats, that's the first thing they do. They stretch. That's going to be good for our eyesight. And yawning brings in more oxygen to the eyes and the brain. And also, when you yawn, you're going to notice that your eyes get more moist. So every time you feel like yawning, do not inhibit it. Maybe you can place a hand if it's not seen as something good to do in your, wherever it is in your society, but don't inhibit the yawning. Just hide it, but yawn. And stretching, the same. Do like a cat. It's going to be good for you. Now, look far away. We already said it. It relaxes your eyes. And when you look far away, it's better if you do it without any kind of glass in between. So go outdoors, remove your contact lenses, remove your glasses, and that will be the most relaxing for your eyes. And blink. So these are 5 tips, but I have more. Yeah, let's go with more tips. Laugh and cry. Laughing and crying also make your eyes more moist. And guess what? Your eyes are the windows to the soul. We'll talk more about this in lesson number 3. But your eyes, this we can say now, your eyes have 2 main functions, seeing and expressing emotions. And when you inhibit one of them, the other gets inhibited too. So if you feel like laughing, laugh. If you feel like crying, cry. If you need to create a special space, a safe space, so you can do it, create that space, but express your emotions, and that will help your eyesight as well. For the moist in your eyes, you can also have a humidifier at home that creates a humid atmosphere that can help when it's not so dry around. And for your eyesight, it's also very useful to use your memory and your imagination. Actually, the process of seeing happens 90% in the brain and only 10% in your eyes. And of course, we can improve our eyes for better eyesight, but we can improve our mental processes. And the more you are able to imagine things that you want to happen that make you happy, and the more you can remember things that you enjoyed and where you were happy, the better your eyesight. Also, you can imagine or remember any visual scene that you have seen. And Dr. Bates used to say, when you're able to remember precisely whatever image, even a black dot, when you imagine it perfectly, you can see perfectly. So memory and imagination are very, very useful. And I have even more tips, but I want to make sure that I give an opportunity to Anna to also share her story and tell us about your eyesight improvement and what has changed for you since you discovered Wake Up Your Eyes. You want to do that, Anna?
Yes, of course. Thank you. Well, my story is not so impressive or dramatic like my other colleagues. It's quite normal. I began to wear glasses with 14 or 15 in the age where you have more changes and emotionally also you have a lot of new things to go through. And with time, well, I began with less than 1 diopter, and every year, every 2 years, I had to go back to the optometrist, and I got new glasses once and again until it stabilized some time uh, with 30 or so more or less. And then with time, well, I didn't like glasses at all. So I used to wear contact lenses instead. But in some point, working with a computer was very annoying because I got dry eyes and I stopped to wear them. But well, wearing the glasses was not very nice at all either for me. I felt kept in a frame, and I felt not good without being able to move my eyes. So with time, later, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I began to feel that I have to look through not through my glasses, but underneath my glasses to read. And then I got a bit, I got a little bit afraid that my eyes were getting bad, and I didn't wanted to think about getting some lenses with glasses with two different I don't know the name in English, with two different diopters or kind of, well, you know. So I began to look for information, and by chance, because I didn't know anything about natural vision, I found you explaining about the natural vision and the how the eyes work, the William Bates theories, and I got so interested that I began to follow you. So it was some time after that I got the chance to take part at Wake Up Your Eyes in Spanish. And after that, well, learning this palming is really good to practice because I noticed that when I do it in the night, my eyes can see much better in the morning, and this was very, very impressive. And in some point, I thought about the travel of the muscles in our eyes connected to the other muscles in the body. And since I work in the computer, I really have very often tensions on my shoulders. So one day I thought to make some massage to me with a massage ball against the wall, and the effects were even better the next day. So I can encourage everyone to try it. It's really impressive, amazing. And even though the effects that doesn't last so long, because there are other aspects of seeing well. This is the proof that the theories of William Bates are really correct. It's not an idea. It's
They work. It
it's
really
like
does.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Mhm.
I encourage everyone to try.
Great, Anna. Thank you for sharing. And I find it very interesting that you mentioned that it was when you were in your teenage years that the eyesight issue started. And it is quite common for people to have eyesight problems start when there's a period of time in life that is stressful for whatever reason. And we'll talk about this in lesson number 3. So I can start asking you to have a look at when your eyesight started declining and have a look at what was happening at that time. And in lesson number 3, we'll talk in depth about the processes going on there. Thank you very much, Anna. I don't know if
Thank
you
you.
want to stay with me as we talk about more tips and even more tips. Yeah, you want to improve your eyesight. You need to keep a positive focus. And notice what is it that you see more than you didn't see before. What more things can you do without glasses? Put the focus on how you can see, because sometimes I hear people say, but if I remove the glasses, I'm blind as a bat. And actually, that's not true. When you remove the glasses, you still see shapes and colors and things. They may not be super sharp, but you see a great deal, and you can probably be functional with that. You can even look at the world as if it was a museum of contemporary art or modern art and just be in awe and amazement of the beauty of the world. But keep the focus positive. What is the improvement? What can you see? What can you do without glasses? And the more you nourish that, and the easier the process gets. Also, we mentioned it earlier, sleep in the darkness. So use blinds, blindfolds, no lights, no electronics. Some people sometimes even have alarms that have light, and that keeps you from sleeping well, from resting your nervous system, and from resting your eyes. So that's another thing that we advise you, and also using your glasses as little as possible. Thank you very much, Anna. You would agree with this too?
Yes, totally.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't use my glasses since 3 years. Well, yeah, the last 3 years. And when I take them, in case I have some course at work where I cannot see perfectly the projector, the image on the wall, then I take them. But I realize that it's too strong.
It
I
doesn't
don't.
work anymore.
They
Yeah.
don't fit anymore.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing your story and your example. I'm sure that for everybody who speaks, there's some other people relating to what's possible, and that has also shown how it's possible to improve from different problems. Like Michelle was asking, what can I do for macular degeneration? Well, start with what we're teaching here. You know that it came from a shock emotionally, but the damage is done. Well, then participate in the workshop, in the Wake Up Your Eyes free masterclass, because in lesson number 3, we're going to talk about the emotional aspect of eyesight. Janek is asking, what if, why cannot I show it? Well, I read it. Oh, here. What if your eyes got worse because of medication and high blood pressure? We're going also to give you tips for that. Not today, but we will during the lessons. Jay Cherie, palming feels nice, great. Is palming good for someone with artificial lenses? As Kat, yes. Your eyes will adapt and you can take the benefits from it. And Lynn is asking, so my eyesight started going bad when I was doing a lot of microscopy for several years. So probably you were putting your eyes under stress, but you can still improve your eyesight now. Whatever happened in the past you apply these techniques that we're teaching, and you can improve your eyesight. Soraya is asking, can you reverse starburst and light halos? We've had participants that have reversed them. And in lesson number 2, we're going to give you more tips and more exercises that you can use to improve this. So Nisa is asking, too early to say, but it feels good to do the palming. I do palming and wear glasses again. Well, if you could postpone wearing the glasses as much as reasonably possible, it would be better, because yes, the glasses do strain your eyes again. And sometimes we need them, and it's okay to use them. But it's better if you use them the least amount possible. Lynn is also saying, thank you for clarifying about your sinusitis. There are many times when my glasses don't appear to help. I'm thinking now, these are the days when my allergies are interfering. Ta-da! So you got an understanding that eyes are sensitive to other things happening in the body. Absolutely. We'll keep giving you things that you can use to improve your eyesight. And so we were saying, we've given you actually not 5, but 13 tips and keys for eyesight improvement. And there's more coming, because this is just the first lesson. In lesson number 2, we're going to talk about false myths and limiting beliefs about your eyesight. We're going to teach you the second STAR technique of natural vision improvement. We're going to teach you 3 exercises that if you even practice them for 5 minutes, not even each, but in a total of 5 minutes, all 3 for 5 minutes total, you're going to see so much better that we're even going to provide you with eye charts and small prints, so we can give you the tools so that you can evaluate how your eyesight is improving. If for some reason you cannot print the eye charts, you can use any book or newspaper that you have at home with letters of different sizes to see the before and after difference when you practice these 3 exercises. We're also going to teach you the instant focusing technique. It's a technique that is going to show you that you can actually see clearly with your bare naked eyes. You're not aware of the capacity that you already have right now to see so well because of the bad habits you've been having for the use of your eyes. But I'll teach you, I'll show you, I'll prove to you with the instant focusing technique that you can actually see much better than you know, and that you can, with training of good habits, actually see better all the time without glasses, contacts, treatments, or surgeries. And of course, much more, many more surprises that will come along. So in order to be able to take advantage of it all, are you registered? You can register in ClearSightMethod.com. And actually, if you're engaged, I encourage you to participate live. There's a recording, but you can better participate live. I also remind you that what we're teaching does work for your symptom. You've heard stories of people that had all kinds of different things, and they all improved with what we're teaching. It works also at any age, and it works whether you've had surgery or not. Yeah? So now I would like to ask you, how would you like for your eyesight to transform? You've heard some stories. Would you like to be the next one telling us about their improvements because you've gone so far and you don't need glasses anymore? And when your eyesight improves, how will you feel seeing better? I would love for you to write it in the chat, but if not, at least think about it for yourself. How will you feel when you see so much better? How life-changing can it be? Yeah. So are you interested or engaged? If you're engaged, you'll be very attentive tomorrow, because we're releasing the video number 2 of lesson 2, and you're going to learn so much more. Yeah. And I even invite you to mark your calendar and make sure that you register online at clearsightmethod.com, that you follow us on YouTube, clearsightmethod.com/YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, clearsightmethod.com/Facebook. If you want, you can see plenty of testimonials we have at clearsightmethod.com/testimonials, or even in our YouTube channel. And if you have any issues to participate, you can also write to us at Ainhoa@clearsightmethod.com. Et voila. So I also would like to know, why would you like to keep learning from me? And especially, let us know, what did you get in today's session? What was the special aha moment, the eye-opening realization, the new piece of learning, or the inspiring story that you got? And so I'm seeing people say, like, of course, I feel free. That would be pleased to see better. And people saying, thank you. You fully enjoyed. Congratulations, actually, for staying until the end today. People are saying, thank you so much. This life has been so helpful and I want to heal my vision. Yes. So if you're like the people writing in the chat, again, I invite you to pay attention at your email, because we're going to be releasing video number 2 tomorrow. And there's a lot more value coming in the next days for you to see clearly and clearly. Et voila. So this is for it. This is it for today. So I see you tomorrow. In the meantime, take care, be happy, enjoy the beauty of life, and I'll see you better and you'll see me better. So bye-bye. I see you in the video tomorrow. Bye.